Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I think this video is really going to showcase my final form of the Kami Cruise. This is the 5v5 tournament that we had on Tuesday. I did have another video that I thought to cast and kind of provide my tips and tricks for, but like I said in the deep dive, this deck changed so often for me that honestly the only deck that really truly can represent everything I did and changed, besides the T80s, right? That happened on the deep dive, so I don't have a video of me playing with the T80s. This is all the T90As that I had originally in it. But this video includes my airdrops, which I didn't have for most of my playtime, which I love the ability to have that airdrop available. So yeah, I'm going to kind of go over live commentary gameplay, right? So, you know, obviously since I'm on YouTube and playing this, you know, when I was doing my cast, I am talking a lot. So basically I'm just going to quiet the talk in between my live gameplay and give you some heads up on what I was doing. So this part of the game, you know, obviously I'm kind of coordinating with my team on that initial air tax. Again, the air tax is not just something you pay for no reason. You create value with it, right? So the idea would be, we thought, we would have a strong air start, and then capitalize on that air start with a thunderbolt and a drone and be able to take out a lot of the vehicles that they may be pushing out from the spawn. That was the idea. Let's see how that worked out for us. Again, your air tax always wants to be for a purpose. So either you're going to be gaining air dominance to forward deploy a lot of units, or you're going to be gaining air dominance to try and bring in a strafing run and kill their ground vehicles that are coming out. So this deck, I only have the one MiG-29. A couple of our other teammates have other ASF planes. But yeah, I'm realizing here they have a lot of planes. So the guy that brought out the Thunderbolt, obviously best for him to just sell it. I didn't want him to have it out and have it just get killed for nothing. I called out those Antes as soon as I saw that they had a lot of planes. I called out the Antes to try to get some one-shots. Unfortunately, my MiG getting completely dunked on, but we came out on top there. So one key point too with your AA pieces at the beginning of the game like this, chances are they're not going to be sending out a ton more airplanes. So I actually sold my Antes to get the income back, right? I'm not paying income on them while they just reload in the field. I'll have them reload in the base and not pay that tax. Now here you guys go. See, this is the amazing part of the airdrop. I know they have no more planes out, so I'm dropping off my Churney and some supplies with my PDSS to get the forward scouting. Again, this is an absolutely clutch part of this deck now. Yeah, that low-flying plane can also scout for you. So I was able to catch their Osprey coming out of the spawn. Sorry guys if the quality of this video is not very good. I accidentally got rid of the VOD from this one, so I'm actually recording off of the YouTube live. So yes, very much sorry that the quality isn't that great. But that's what we got for today. Again, I was gonna cast a different video, but I just said, you know, this was me playing at my finest with all the tools and upgrades that I put into the deck.
Ooh, wow, that's a lot of infantry there.
That was a lot of toes.
Can you guys spot that thing? I'm gonna bring the cluster bomber on it. It might not kill it.
So the reason why I brought the cluster bomber out is just because I thought it should still do a decent amount of damage and at least suppress all of those enemies. But now, you know, looking back on it, I probably should have saved the cluster bomber for all these T-15s I was about to roll into.
Oh wow, they got T-15s.
Yeah, and I don't even think I did a lot of damage with that.
Helicopters?
Yeah, I really wish I had that cluster bomber now. But the Churney, even with 10 armor and 7 models, they get absolutely chunked by the T-15. But here's one of the big things I like about the Churney with the loadout I was talking about, you know, having a standoff loadout, is now they can sit here in this tree line and just pepper those infantry with the grenade launchers. So I brought the T-15 with the 2 Verba squads in it. And this is why these Verbas are so good. Now those Verbas only have 4 models apiece, so they get absolutely deleted. Now my teammate here bringing in some attack helos definitely saved my bacon on those T-15s. Got him to at least run away. Again, those Verbas, huge part of our defense, being able to hold off the early helo pressure. But again, just remember, they're only a 4-man squad, so that's why I usually try to always bring 2 of them. That way, when they're in a building, they have more HP, and of course, you get 2 rockets.
Oh, that one T-15 is actually really low.
Oh yeah, I got really thirsty for that low health T-15. But yeah, you know, I realizing the power of these SSO, I tried killing them, and I think that one SSO basically survived everything that I threw at it. But that's the key, right? So when you're in a game environment like this, and you're fighting against a team that's just bringing on a lot of heavy armor, you bring your 1 T-15 out early because it can stand up to just about everything. But if you see now they're bringing in tanks, then you got to start bringing in your tanks to fight against it. And I'm basically calling in tanks just non-stop in between all my micro.
Yes, nice. I'm just going to keep pumping out the T-90s as long as I can.
Keep pumping out the T-90s, exactly. Now the T-15, it's great to dive just because it has so much health. And then I popped that smoke so it didn't get shot by the T-14. Smoke is a very, very powerful tool in this game.
Okay, I need help at the airport.
Do not sleep on how powerful it is to give yourself a sight blocker at any moment's notice.
Yeah, just fly it low and bring it right here.
My V3s are watching your...
Oh, he's got a T-14 here. Man, these guys spent all their points on armor.
So again, trying to use the sight blockers as much as I can. This map in particular has a lot of sight blocking, so you can use that to your advantage.
Stealth is insane. I'm trying to get the Avengers. Okay, I think the Avengers are down.
Now, one of the things to remember about having a tank on the field versus infantry is tanks don't lose effectiveness as they get hit and take any amount of damage, right, until they die. So usually with a tank, you always want to try and leverage its entire health pool and just realize that, you know, you can take that thing down to a sliver and be okay. No. Full cluster barrage coming in on us here. I am absolutely shocked that this T-15 is still alive. Oh, but this Abrams doesn't shoot the T-15. Absolutely goated right there. That T-15's still alive. Because it walks like a tank and talks like a tank. The thing is pretty strong. But again, the reason why I don't bring more than 2 of them, because 2 is plenty for whatever you would need it to do. But yeah, at this point, my tanks are all in kind of need of repair. So as you see, that's why I'm always bringing up supplies. Just constantly, right? Constantly bringing up supplies.
My guys are very low health. My tanks.
And that's why, as you see, I just so happen to have another supply truck up and ready to go. I think he picked up the supplies from the airdrop and now brought them forward.
Bring out some Chrysanthemas.
Now, unfortunately, we have two tracked Abrams there, which is very unfortunate. If I was a better guy, I probably would have dropped those supplies on them as well.
On the flank. I'm gonna try to hit.
But did not. So now I got 3 T90s. 3 T90s versus 1 trophy. I mean, that trophy is big dead. Let's see how these T90s fare against our good old trophy. I'm trying to drive behind him, but got a little jammed up in traffic. Unfortunately, this guy just drove his T90 out, or his SEP V3 without really microing it. I think he just sent it to D and forgot about it. Alright, so now one of the nice things is with the churney, of course you see kind of getting that constant amount of resupplying is great. Now the churney you see on the left, they are Chads. I mean, they go in, he sent in an engineering. Now I don't know if he has the engineering with the CQC loadout, but those churney absolutely decimate that squad of engineering. And again, it's one of the really good things that I like about them is that 10 armor, they can really get into any CQC environment and do a pretty good job. I mean, I'm sure if they ran into Delta Force, they would get chunked down in like 2 seconds, but against a normal combat engineer squad, they do pretty well. So now I'm feeling pretty good. I got my 3 T90As. They're ready to brawl, and I'm gonna go out and see what I can do. Now, enemy team smoking here actually a help for me because it allows me to get out onto the airstrip without being seen. And I know you guys saw right there, those supplies all got eaten up, so need to bring some more. Again, a big part of this deck is keeping yourself well supplied. But that smoke wall actually very much a benefit for me because I can move up undetected. As you saw, the Apache couldn't do anything because I'm nicely tucked inside that smoke. So here I go, I pop out. I'm trying to look for targets of opportunity. Seeing the Avenger there is really nice because I can wipe out any AA that they might have, and that way our friendly team can get in there with some anti-helicopter. Now, keeping my T90s hidden in smoke is good. He did bring out a lot of ATGMs, which is why that Barbarous almost died. But the T90s using their ATGMs, but not able to connect. Ooh, big cluster run. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with that F-15 and its cluster bombs, but it is nasty. It is nasty. I wish I had mine ready to go, but as you remember, I wasted it early on in the game. Yeah, I learned my lesson there. I'll never waste a cluster bomb for some junk like that.
Nice job.
The Chrysanthemas doing work.
Good kills, good kills.
With their ATGMs. Again, 1700 range, pretty far. He's trying to move up his ATGMs to pick off my T90s, but I'm rolling around. I don't really know what the Churnies ended up facing, but seems like they won whatever they were fighting against and made it to the other side. What do you know? Perfect time to bring up more supplies.
I got a rocket RD if you want to time it at the same time.
Oh shit, I just fired now.
Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
Again, these guys, these tournaments, we're going to do them twice a week, every week. And I will be always live on YouTube. I decided instead of going live on Twitch, I'm just going to go live on YouTube. Keep all the eggs in the basket. those supplies getting destroyed, but yeah, wasn't too sad about it.
Ranch, move your tanks. Move your tanks. Quickly.
Yep.
Nice cluster already.
Again, always nice to have an eye out on your teammates. This game does require a lot of micro all over the map. So if you notice your teammate getting blasted by something, a friendly ping
Left side.
or a announcement will help.
Oh yeah.
I've got my Kyo.
Now, I haven't used a lot of cruise missiles in this deck, and I want to kind of talk about that right now. So, as I said in the deep dive, you know, this is a hybrid frontline and support deck. So, as you see, when you're constantly spending your points, you know, this is why it took me so long to do my cruise missiles, because I have been just cranking tanks out. But now it's time for the 12 cruise missile combo that you all know and love. It is coming out in style, and I'm just trying to pick targets. Now again, because these things can get intercepted,
If you guys have seed, I need you to hit it right now.
because you know, these cruise missiles can be intercepted, I usually try to put 2 cruise missiles per target. Of course, then I'm not microing my tanks. I think I lost my T-15 there.
These woods right here.
I don't see it anymore. But let's see how many of those cruise missiles hit. Okay, looks like we got 2 kills already. Pretty high value targets here. Wife hanging out in the background, that's always fun.
In their back line, their artillery.
She's taking the dog out for a walk.
Nice. Alright, I'll be reinforcing you.
But those cruise missiles did their job, and now they're going home. So again, this is kind of that always you're on that balancing act. If you have all of those cruise missiles, and you saw I sold them, got a lot of that money back, and now I'm not paying the tax on it anymore. So now all of a sudden I have this massive point infusion,
Round 1, guys. Nice job.
and ready to go.
Nice job. Okay, these guys are going really armor heavy, so let's just keep pumping tanks out.
So now I'm up to 5 T90As. They do have some ATGMs, but I haven't really been feeling a lot of threat from ATGMs. So that's why I decided to just bring out more T90As.
I'm gonna bring another Bradley up with a probably a mech rifle team.
And guys, I'm really excited to start getting into the other specs for RU. I love all the different cool infantry they get. Spetsnaz, GRU, SSO. Really cool infantry. I'm super excited to see those
Journey up to try to
and do some deep dives.
Okay, if those T-15s push, I'm gonna flank them in the back.
Oh yeah, he is not ready for this T90 flank. But of course, his SSO right there. I'm trying to focus fire on the Barbarous because I don't want to waste shots on the SSO squad. The machine guns will just shoot for me there.
Broken arrow, full send it.
But we got a big engagement coming right here, and I'm trying to focus on getting kills. Again, on those T90s. He's running away, but he did not turn his rear armor. Again, he reversed, which is why those T-15s didn't die. But my T-90 is going to try to get as many kills as they can. If he's going to leave his SSO out, then I will gladly kill them. Ballistic missiles destroying the supplies I had put out.
Rolled in on A. No, it doesn't look like it.
But again, we're in a full combat situation. Those churning, again, showing why they're so good. You're just having them on an attack move. But my Verbas got infiltrated by an SSO and totally killed. Now again, these Cat Totu teams have a minimum arm range, so I'm trying to get my T90s in as close as I can so they're not getting shot. Now I'm turning them around because that T-15, I did not want him to get rear shots on me here. So I turned my T-90s back around to get the front armor towards that 57. Again, that 57 cannot pen a heavy tank in the front. So he realizes that I had turned them around. I got another churney here.
Absolutely The Churney Beretti coming.
And the Churney mops up those cat toe. Now again, guys, those cat toe to B teams, 140 each. That is so expensive
Dude, the Churney.
to get slapped like that.
Shotgun's also here to save the day.
Now again, guys, this is the power of the T90. It's a 230 point tank. I have 2 more now, so I have 5 of these things rolling around.
I'm getting.
And this is a force to be reckoned with. I have one of them obviously at low health. Those Churneys finally getting ground down to dust. But yeah, it was kind of interesting. I think they had low ammo on the cord, I guess. But yeah, anyway, they're giving me that low ammo indicator.
Yeah, that was a big push. Holy cow. Alright, I'm almost ready to do another big strike with cruise missiles.
But now, see, the nice thing about keeping your units alive with this deck is if you can just keep your units alive, stack up a bunch of points, you can now just start doing wave after wave of Iskander strikes. So I'm down to 4. I only lost 1 T90 in that cluster run, but again, this deck is now coming into its final form where I have, many tanks out on the field. I can put a lot of pressure on the enemy, and I'm also bringing out the cruise missiles. Very strong combo. I didn't want to chase again, so you got to be always careful when you have tanks out that your flanks are where you're gonna end up being killed. Okay. So having that right flank at that kind of distance exposed I didn't want to push into that. But seeing a tracked tank, that's a prime target for a cruise missile. Give him one more just in case.
Okay, they're all out.
So I probably could have spread those cruise missiles better, but one of the things you'll notice is once you start playing with cruise missiles, you do realize that units move around, and that kind of negates the power of those cruise missiles. If they move even a little bit, you lose them. But got a kill on that tank in the corner with the cruise missiles. Oh yeah, these guys do not have enough anti-cruise up, so I am just dunking here. Again, this is the reason why you bring this deck, in my opinion. Sure, I could have the other arty pieces, but these cruise missiles absolutely dunking on the enemy right now. They did not have enough air defense.
Brutal. What have you guys been dealing with on the right side? Is it a lot of infantry? Yeah, they've got some tanks, but they've been holding it back.
They're probably holding for another big armor push, most likely.
Oh, we just clapped one of their really big armor pushes. But you're right, it could be.
Hey, I've got supply for your T90 right here, by the way.
Oh, my teammate being an absolute legend, bringing up a supply drop for my T90.
I ate your supplies for your GMLRS, but there's more back there.
Oh, good. I'm gonna get
Again, great reason why you'd want to play with folks in the Discord. Being able to play with a team that's actually all coordinating together is amazing. I highly recommend.
See here on with the Ranger snipers. I don't.
Okay.
Unless you meant a different far right.
No, I mean past F is what I mean, to the right.
Yeah, isn't that over here? The Rangers.
So I have a viewer, or a friend of mine viewing the game, not actually participating. He was asking some questions about it. So these T90s, they're ready to go.
I think they're dropping smoke.
And I'm actually now able to help out at H. But again, the smoke walls there, very nice. I would definitely, when you guys are thinking about using smoke walls, just being aware that they can be a boon to the enemy. But that's, again, so a nice thing about this deck, once you have your kind of tank ball up and you have some infantry, being able to have those extra points for cruise missiles and support units is really nice.
Oh, there is someone on heat still.
Okay, they're upset over here. We got quite a bit of shit going on.
Now that's a lot of seps. Now the problem when you get that amount of seps, and I don't think I checked to see what version of Abrams they were, but they can focus fire your tanks down much faster than you can focus fire them. So finally my Tu-22 ready to go again. Let's see if I can actually get this cluster bomb strike to land. Now see, they're hiding in the smoke. That was my goal. And I get one kill. Not the greatest. But I get one kill and weaken the other. See, now my T-90s can actually get in there. But between the Apache and the Chrysanthema, those 3 tanks are dead. Again, great point for the Chrysanthema right there to have it just kind of ready to go. But yeah, you do not want to send in your tanks in a situation like that where it's just a head-to-head and you don't have a numbers advantage. You know, again, those, like I said, these T-90s, they can die in about 3 hits from a SEP V3. So you don't want to let them just die for free.
Oh, no.
Chrysanthemas, unfortunately, don't have smoke.
Okay, they brought Guardians in.
So
Does anyone have any AA in the
they're real pissed now with this armor push. And again, unfortunately, I don't have any AA pieces ready to go.
Try to YOLO a MiG.
So 2 Guardians can definitely just,
I want to lose 2 T-90s.
yeah.
Okay, he's backing them
Now,
up.
thankfully, we had some AA to get those out of there. I definitely would have YOLO'd that MiG to save my 2 T-90s. Because again, keeping your tanks alive and having 4 to 5 of them out is the main power of this deck. But if all of a sudden you lose a third of them, then you just have to rebuild that tank force, right? So that's why I'm trying to float points, is because I'm floating these points to do another Iskander strike.
I have 2 Iskanders, I'll call them out.
So I hope you guys can appreciate just how strong this deck is with its ability to have a defensive line of tanks that can obviously also do a lot of pushing, and then this support power from Iskanders and long range AA.
I took out that entire.
You should try.
H is clear.
Okay, H is clear. Alright, moving back over to the left side. Oh!
Big cluster strike from our ally there. Don't think he got any kills from it, but
Recon joining to the right of the map, please.
yeah, I brought 3 Conquerors squads. Now it's just the hard part again on this map is getting them into a good position where they can actually get some good damage out. Their sight lines are pretty bad in those warehouses.
Yeah, I have no idea either. Alright, my cruise missiles are ready. Where do you guys want them?
That's a good question. Not seeing much right now.
Oh, they are. It looks like they are gearing up for a very wide left push. Oh, there we go. Alright.
All right, targets acquired. The cruise missiles are going out. Now, I unfortunately didn't really prepare supplies for my antes.
Yep, I got a drone coming over. Watch out, I got Apache hitting your tanks.
Yep. Rolling right now.
Anytime I hear Apaches hitting tanks, I freak out, but those were not my tanks.
Fire trucks coming. Do something.
Cruise missiles going out. Let's see what I can hit. I think I actually did target some of them on those labs.
Armadas and stuff.
But, alright, so this cruise missile strike was all about sending a message. It was not very effective. But keeping the MiG out. So, again, one of the things that you guys will see when you bring a plane, you don't necessarily need to, like, sell it instantly, right? If you call out a plane, it has a long cooldown even if you sell it right away. So I kept the plane out to loiter, spot drones, just be available since I brought it out.
Nice.
But
nice.
that's kind of what the point of it is.
Beautiful. Oh, the artillery slaughter is just brutal.
Our guys having fun here with the artillery game.
I'm pushing up pretty far here next to you if you want to kind of keep the momentum rolling. On
Now, we are pretty far ahead here in this phase 2, but one of the things I've learned in Broken Arrow is you don't want to just sit on your laurels, right? You may be having a really strong phase 2, but that doesn't mean that you won't be getting completely countered going into phase 3 by a buildup that is designed to knock you out. So spotting that stealth drone, absolutely huge, and taking that thing out, priority number 1.
I'm horrified of what they all saw with that.
Now those Conkers, again, they're not that great in close range, and they are getting absolutely torn up by one Barbarous. Again, guys, that's the power of the T-15, is you have 3 Conkers in a building, and they are struggling to kill one T-15. That's honestly on me. I just didn't find a good place to put them. I was thinking that would be a good place because they could hit, you know, anything coming down the main airstrip. But a T-15 sneaking up on them like that was bad news. Of course, T-90 there. Big Brother is always watching. And that T-90 kind of cleaned him up. But again, if that T-90 wasn't there, those Conkers would not have even had a chance. And that's, again, 3 of them. Right? So 2 of those rockets were getting through, but just doing piddly amounts of damage.
He's pulling everything back.
Now I'm getting really ballsy here with these T-90s, and I'm moving really far forward. But again, with 4 of them, I'm feeling pretty good about that. Gonna see if I can take out this Derevitsia. 1 shot, not enough. But the Conkers, thankfully, reloaded and ready to go. Now again, see, look, this is what I'm talking about with that Shorta jammer. Just sucks. I think I did dodge that second shot, though. But, yeah, that was kind of a bummer. Now, again, another nice point to note here with the T-90s. You never really want to be all clustered in one spot. I guess that was another dodge by the Shorta. Not bad.
I'm just like the Russian tank factory over here, man. It's just one after another.
But yeah, you want to try to spread your T-90s out so you're not just going to get, you know, blown to smithereens by one cluster strike.
Now pretty aggressively with their tanks.
Yeah, honestly, we'll have to see. I'm going to try those T-80s with the BVM, you know, that has the same armor, more health, but no storage jammer. And we'll see. If those, I feel like if those things really underperform, I'll bring the T-90As back. Again, I really love the T-90A, and I feel like this game here, this tournament match, like, showed me the power of the T-90A horde. You know, I really liked them. Unfortunately, those Conkers teams, again, getting kind of dunked on pretty hard, and these supplies about to run out. Again, you see the problem with not having a lot of supplies means they just run out pretty fast, and then you're kind of all your momentum stops right when those supplies drain because you can't brawl anymore. One of my T-90s needs a repair and it can't.
Oh, yeah, nice slaughter.
But I'm gonna see what I can do with these 4.
The grind for mid.
Ooh, 2 Conkers teams just wiped out by that artillery barrage.
Supplies they can cart to mid.
I'm begging for supplies now because I ran out. Ooh, T-90M does not realize that more gun beats less gun. And here I go. I'm going to try to now push into E. Not really watching that. Oh, there's a T-14 here, but guess what? More gun beats less gun. You might have the unicorn tank.
Gosh, oh no.
But I have all of these T-90s. This is a really weird engagement. I'm trying to, you know, pretend like I can keep my front armor forward, but this is just a cluster. A cluster. But look at this, guys. These T-90s, I lost one of them, but I killed 3 tanks. And I only lost 1 tank. Again, power of the T-98, power of more gun beats less gun. But now 2 trophies are coming up and I'm out of smoke. And you definitely want to always have some smoke available. So here I am with the MT grabbing the supplies I dropped off from the airdrop plane, that cargo plane. And I could have pushed up with these T90s to, you know, do some damage, but I just felt like, you know, a 3v2 against Sep V2s was not the battle that I wanted. Of course, again, no smoke, so if I did get into a position where I wanted to run away, I can't. And then I'm just going to get absolutely slapped, so didn't want any of that. Again, I love tank-to-tank combat in this game. I think it's one of the best ways for me to play the game and kind of express my play style. My ante, I just realized, is really weak. I think the other one died. Oh, no, this is going to hurt. I'm trying to cross this road, but I have no smoke. So I have no idea, you know, what I'm kind of in for here. Again, I'm exposing my side and rear armor. Now that T90A getting shot by both of those tanks, but not dying, which is absolutely amazing. Now I'm keeping the Churney here to hopefully just be a distraction Churney, but they're just rolling right past him anyway, so he's just dying for free, basically. But now, see, what I'm doing now is I'm cycling out the healthy tanks to buy time for my repairing tanks. And again, look at them. Both of those tanks are suppressed. Maybe the Churney was able to suppress them. But you have now, so see again, I'm backing up that wounded tank. And I keep the healthy ones up. So I've traded now that killed one of their tanks for free. And now these other two healthy T90s plus the other one coming up. Oh yeah, that already though, very painful. Let's see what my trade ends up being. I was able to take out that other Sep V2, and I've only lost one T90. But my bane of my existence is I'm out of supplies. So I lost one T90 there, again, which really wasn't that bad. I killed 3 of their tanks. I lost one up there. I killed those 2 Sep V2s. And if it wasn't for the Artie strike, I actually would have been able to continue to push. But of course now I'm just very weakened. But bring out the Iskander. I have the 12 cruise missile combo ready to go. Let's see what I can do with this. And my T14, I did not pay attention to him when I called him out, because again, I'm trying to do all this cruise missile stuff. Again, the micro. It's too much. PDSS gonna die. Again, I'm just trying to get all these out. Again, we're in phase 3, so all the points you get in phase 1 and 2 can be counteracted if you get heavily pushed here. But I'm definitely at my micro limit. But trying to, again, get some cruise missile strikes out there. Got the 4 from the Catrans out. Didn't get a whole lot of damage there, but now the 8.
This is probably one of the most intense tank fights I've ever seen.
Killed their tornado in the back there.
Yeah.
Just a flurry of artillery. Ooh, Ranger Maz, they definitely have wisened up to my tank strats. Now, the Ranger Maz is a significant counter to the T90A. Again, no APS. So that thing is going to suffer. But I finally decided to bring up some guards to deal with his stream of tanks as well. But I am definitely beaten down here. Low on supplies. All of my tanks are very weak. But I'm realizing here that, wow, was that I think I actually got a collat kill. Destroyed one tank, destroyed one vehicle, and then got the other one. Or maybe his other tanks got the other kill. But yeah, see now look guys, here. The AN-72, I need supplies in a pinch. Boom, there it is. I don't know if it's going to get out alive. It did not. Now, I could have called it in on an angle. That would have probably helped it survive, but I just needed supplies and needed them fast. And that's what that thing is really good for. Plus, I got some Churney out quickly. So again, I love that cargo plane. It is so amazing to have in a pinch like this.
How many tanks do I even have left? Always another T90. I'm not happy with that.
Always another T90. Yeah, I'm definitely the Soviet tank factory with this build.
Those big
And again, having your T90s only cost 240, oh man, it's so good. As opposed to spending the 270 that I have now for the T80 BVM.
Still infantry in these.
I'm not trying to talk myself out of the BVM, but I just see how good it is to have these 240 point T90s to bring out at any moment. Now again, back to the tank brawl. I'm trying to put pressure against his T90s that he's called out. Doing big damage. Almost killed that one. Ante low on health, needs a little bit of milk. He's gonna go get it.
Have they been doing a lot of seed?
I haven't noticed much.
Think so?
Ooh, that Apache trying to get some damage in, and I thought, oh, see, yeah, that's the storage jammer, not really doing much for me there. I thought he just had missiles, or he just had rockets, but he did have some ATGMs too, which did me dirty. Now these guards, I don't want them fighting other infantry. Remember, they only have 6 armor. I want them just there to ambush tanks. So I'm trying to keep him in more of an ambush position.
I mean, it's here.
Because I was gonna push in on it.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I'm
all
gonna-
major cleared all the way out.
I'm gonna push in on it now because I'm already kind of in position.
Yeah.
Man, already ate all those supplies. Never mind. They just
Yeah, they're just spotting us. So again, this is the classic Russian gameplay, is just everything you do gets spotted.
It's a lot of Apache.
Now my guards, I'm hoping they can at least whip out their machine guns and start shooting at those helicopters.
Eggs!
But there's so much anti-air that longbow assault definitely was not meant to live for very long. But these guards are getting chewed up pretty bad.
How do you find the sauce now? Are the missiles actually hitting their targets?
They hit me pretty well.
The Cessna is pretty good. It's expensive, but it's good.
They're good.
Unfortunately, my guards, just not long for this world. They were so battered and so damaged.
Completely wrecked. You guys
by the time I actually got them into a fighting position, they're just dead. Poor guards. Again, that's my problem with the guards, is they don't have a lot of armor. They get shredded super fast, but they wouldn't have done well against 2 T-15s anyway. But my tank blob, it is feeling pretty juicy. Almost back up to full fighting strength. But the enemy definitely bringing in a lot of Apaches. Thankfully, our team doing great work with the Shorads and the Avengers to keep those Guardians
like they're bringing in a Guardian.
out of the sky. So another point, guys, every time you see a drone flying over you, just know that everything you have has been spotted. And the artillery is coming. So just be mindful of that and move everything that you have if you catch a drone close to you flying overhead. Storage jammer. So see, now I have T90Ms out on the field. They're actually going to APS absorb those hits now.
These cat toes. They got a lot of seed up. Lots of seed. Looks like they did a ballistic missile seed run.
So great reason, if you're going to do ballistic missiles, you pair seed with them. That AA can actually either be killed or not intercept the ballistic missiles.
We got M3 trophies on this side. Shit.
M3 trophies. V3! Sep V3 trophy?
But I will.
The tanks are on the way.
Ranch zone.
Don't worry, guys. We're coming. Again, my logistics truck's just trying to bring supplies up. He still has some infantry probably parked right there. I'm just trying to figure out what it is. I wanted to go over and help my buddy over there near B, but I've been just dealing with the constant pressure on this side. Terminator, not really in a good position for itself. It's really meant to just grind infantry, and it doesn't really do much against tanks. But again, guys, just the point here is you got this ball of T90s, and as long as you can keep 3, 4, 5 of them out on the field, you can tackle just about anything the enemy throws at you. Again, especially the T15, right? If you see a T15, they can't do much against a tank.
They got like 15 smoke grenades.
These SSO, they are slippery little guys. I mean, I'm telling you what, dudes. When I get access to SSO, I am going to be abusing the crap out of them because they seem pretty cracked. Not going to lie. Wow. So one of my tanks got instantly deleted by the TOW2Bs because we were not in the minimum arm range, but now I got these T90s and they are in the minimum arm range. And sending those TOW2Bs. Again, that's 320 points. No, 420 points? 420 points in infantry right there, all deleted. So just, guys, that's so many points. Again, it's crazy. Now, if those are like Ranger Maz or something, that probably would have been more deadly.
Oh, jeez, I didn't realize it was end of phase 3.
But,
Dude, yeah, we were in the literal zone there.
but yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you hang out with us on the Discord. Our Discord is growing every day. I think we have almost 300 people in the Discord. We have games going basically all the time. This group is super friendly. We love to help you. We love to teach. We know there's so many things to learn in Broken Arrow. So I'm so glad you're here. If you watched, thank you for being here. If you were here live, I'm even more grateful. And if you're coming on Saturday to view the tournament, I would love to see you there.
Wow, guys, we definitely
But yeah, that was definitely a good game.
that game.
Put a lot of work in with those T90s, as you saw, the 12,000 kills. That's a lot of tank kills. And then also had the Iskanders from long range. But again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And I can't wait to see you next time.